and welcome to Razyel Kayne and NinjaBill reviews. And we are doing Razyel Kayne and NinjaBill reviews. The Wheel of Time, Book 9, Winter's Heart.
Winter's Heart, yep.
Yes, yes.
And I just tried, you added me to the account, like the team. And now if I type, I understand like I just typed hello. I thought it was going to say Razyel Kayne says hello, but it's you. So that's how they do it. Like, sometimes Skato's going to be talking and then you get a reply. That's somebody else replying. Basically. I did not know that.
Makes sense. Okay, well, now we know. And knowing's half the battle.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Joe or Yo Joe or however that is. Anyway, so start with tell everybody who you are, how they can find you, etc.
I'm not comfortable with having my picture. There you go. I'm Razyel Kayne Reviews, or I'm Razyel Kayne and I review stuff, mainly these fantastic plastic things. And once a month, I review books with NinjaBill. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and tformers.com, all at Razyel Kayne Reviews. And yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. Where can we find you?
Hello, and I'm NinjaBill of NinjaBill Reviews, and you can find me on YouTube as NinjaBill Reviews, Shinobi Birru on Facebook, and Shinobi Birru on tformers.com. And thanks for joining me once again for these awesome books. Folks, if you have not read, ignore the television series. Act like it doesn't exist, because it doesn't in my mind. I'm surprised I even mentioned it. Most of the time I forget it even exists. Anyway, so make sure you go check out the books. There's 14 in all. So, go check them out. They're an excellent read by an awesome author. And yeah, so
he passed away.
Yeah. So before we really get going into the book review, we'll start with Raz. Did you get any cool toys in this week, or items, or stuff?
I actually did. And now, hold on. I'm going to hold my belly up. All right. So I got Studio Series 86 RC.
Nice.
Which I'm honestly disappointed with.
And now you know why I passed on it.
Yeah, she's better than the Earthrise RC, but I'm still disappointed. I got Blitzwing, which I'm disappointed with only one of his mold.
The jet mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
What else did I get? I got, sorry, I should have prepared, but.
That's okay.
Iguanus, who's actually really fun.
Yep, he's fun.
So, because I got him when they announced Skullgrin, because I had Skullgrin as a kid, and I was really looking forward getting a new version of Skullgrin. So, and then they announced Bomber, so I'm like, all right, so they're doing all the Pretenders, so I'm going to get all the Pretenders. And I don't care that he's core class. I'm going to be pissed off if they do a Deluxe or a Voyager thing. That would be a piss off. I also have this fantastic creature.
Tarantulas?
Yeah, which is what every Hasbro figure should be. That's a quality mold. And I have, hold on, that's so I have her and him. So I got Elita 1.
Nice. Mine is coming in this week sometime.
She's good. And I made a couple mistakes while shooting my review, because I don't shoot everything at the same time, because I have my kid, and sometimes I'll start, and because the way I'm set up to do everything, I have to move my camera around. So I'll do all my intros in one shot, and then after that I'll set up, turn around, and then start doing the alt mode. So by the time I do that, I forget what I said, so I repeat myself. And anyways, and then I got him, and
Kids.
Memo's gonna laugh at me when the review comes up, because he knows I have no affinity for Skids. And I think actually Skids should be remade as a woman, as a female, because that's a soccer.
Well, good news, Burnout. If you get Burnout,
I had a hard time picking this up because he's so obscure, but because I have Road Hauler, who are just Hauler,
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, okay, well, if this guy's only like in 3 shots, but 2 shots in alt mode, I should probably get skid. So I did, and now I have skid.
If you get burnout, you're in luck. They're calling of course the original burnout was didn't have a gender, is it was diaclone. So, but burnout
Right.
is a female. So if you get burnout, is a female. Just letting you know. So yeah,
And I don't get why they give us those stupid translucent weapon.
yeah, I don't get it either.
I mean,
Oh,
that's not Elita's gun at all. It's not molded as Elita's gun. So why are we, and why is it only a couple, like Tarantulas didn't have any translucent weapon, and he's wave 2, she's wave 2, Skids is wave 1, has
it's a
translucent.
line thing. It's a line thing. They're doing it for certain characters. So
I guess.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
and then everything
right.
else, like the translucent crab that came with Blitzwing, I just left in the box. I'm like, nope. I didn't even show when I shot my review. I didn't even show what you could do with those hands, and they're not even hands because they have 2 thumbs, 4 fingers, 2 thumbs. What the hell?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah. Don't. I'm passing on him too. So, so this week I picked up. Well, I got not this week, but I got in another train bot, another the LDCX train bots.
nice.
Yep, and of course it's not complete. I'll show the completed form in the review. But this can combine with all the other train bots that I have, so he can combine with all the rest of them. And there's like a total in 6 in the set, total of 6 different robot trains in the set, and they all can combine, and there's dead solid combined. I mean
That's is that solid or is that it sounds rattly.
well, that's the arms here, but
Okay.
look at the shoulder joint, how it's holding on, and then I drop it. Look,
Don't do that.
look, leg joint. Look at that.
All right.
I mean,
All right.
once they're connected, they're dead solid. Dead solid. It's
Well, I guess that should be the focus.
yeah, they're dead solid. So
Yeah.
I got that one in. I got this one in. It's another train bot, but this is some crap KO stuff. But he looks pretty good. I've added more paint, obviously, but
Yeah.
there's one, the red one, the yellow one.
That's sweet. So they're all engines.
Yep, and then I got this one.
Okay, so that's an actual cart. He looks
Yep.
good.
Well, yeah, I've added a lot of paint, and I'm not done painting up top. I've got to add the top coat of gloss white.
Okay, you're customizing all of them.
Oh yeah, I have to. Otherwise, they wouldn't look as good as they do. Because believe me, they were crap.
Yeah, okay.
They were crap. So yeah, I got train. Oh, and I got Gundam kit.
Oh, another one? Cool.
Yep, because I have to have Gundams. I have to have Gundams in my life. All right, so that is that. And anything else you want to add before we start our regular talk section on the book?
Well, yeah, I did order a couple things just now that I missed out on.
Ooh,
Being a quintessent judge.
nice.
I got a good find on AliExpress without too much shipping. I mean, he's not $39, but he's a little more than that. And then I got a better price for the Alicon from Earthrise. And then I found the Gnaw at retail.
Nice.
So I have all those 3. So I think I'm just gonna pack them and tell my wife to reimburse me so that she can give it to me for my birthday in February. Like, I don't need those figures urgently. So I don't know. I'm stupid that way.
Still pretty cool. I got a couple of I got a box coming in, I think from Trans 38, and I know I've got one coming in from Ultra Megatronus.
I still have Cosmos coming from Input. Like, he sent it to me. Oh God, it's been 2 weeks, and USPS is so freaking slow, and they don't update the tracking. So it still says that the label was created, but that the piece wasn't shipped. And I
Oh,
know Input shipped it. You know.
I know Ugly Wretch also sent me something, so I know I got 2 or 3 packages coming in. No idea what's in 2 of them. Some idea of what Ultra Megatronus sent me. Some,
Okay.
but so in the book 8, where we left off is, um,
I don't
uh,
recall where we left off. Perrin is on his own
well,
after a stage fight.
yeah, Perrin had visited the prophet Messina, right, and said he wants to take him to Rand because that's what Rand told him, get Messina there because Messina is acting cray. He's playing nuts, and so they're Perrin has to take him. He picked up Queen Margazy, who's calling herself Magia, something like that. Uh, um, or Maiden. That's right, Maiden. Uh, uh, um, and so he picks him up, and they leave to go to take Messina to Rand. Him, and all the folks in the army with him.
Yeah,
And
because Mishima has a freaking army now,
yeah,
but
and
they're all insane lunatics.
yep. And at some point, uh, uh, um, uh,
Oh man,
Bale, Alliandre, Queen Alliandre, Berlane, Bane, Shad, and Maiden all got captured by the Shido. And
yeah.
and just as the book ended, uh, um, Egwene starts marching her army towards Tarvalin. So the rebel army towards Tarvalin. That's where we left off in the last book. So
So
now
if
here we.
Perrin met in the last book with Messima,
Mhm.
I now know what part you think we missed. We never spoke of when Elaine and Naev met Burgit in the dream world.
That's why I thought we were missing that.
Yeah, it's in the books that we've covered, but that's because now that you mentioned Messima marching with Perrin, I'm like, wait, Messima was last seen in the same town where the girls Niev and Elaine were using the one power to do acrobatics
Hmm.
to impress people using weaves of air. And Burgit, who's been pulled out in a fight with Mogadine, she's been pulled out of the dream world.
Yep.
And now she's a living person. We talked about her and Matt sharing drinks and
Oh yeah, those
Tenshiko,
two, her and Matt. I love the relationship.
Ilian.
I love the relationship with Bridget and Matt because
Oh
they're like
yeah,
two old. They're like two old salts drinking in a bar and just slapping each other on the back, down and
yeah,
drink, playing, dicing and gambling, and yeah, they get telling dirty jokes to one another. They get on great now. It's nothing romantic. They're just the best of buds. All right, folks.
yeah.
They're just the best of buds. They even Elaine just can't get over. And seriously, she doesn't understand why Bridget likes Matt so much. She just can't comprehend why they get on so well. But
Yeah, well, I mean, Matt probably actually has the memories of some of her friends from
yeah,
previous lives, you know. So,
yeah,
but it's a cool thing that it's man we skipped that part. So basically, after Burgit is out, she just walks around with Elaine and Niev, and she's unfortunately at this point. I mean, she's with at the women's retreat where
hmm
they use the bowl of winds, and I think they might be on their way to Saladar,
hmm
and that's when it's Messima that really made me remember, you know, and Burgit would do archery competition
hmm
for for the carnival that the girls are posing at.
Yep.
So that was
Along with that.
3 books ago,
Yep.
or
So
maybe 2 books ago.
so in this book, as we spoke about in the last book, some of the tower Aes Sedai are starting to find out that there are in fact the Black Ajah is a real thing, and they found one. So
Taline.
so Sain or Selene's Black Ajah
It's
hunting party uses a Terran girl called the Chair of Remorse to convince a dark friend, Taline, to retake the three O's. And
and
by
she
convince, we really mean they torture her.
oh yeah, using the chair of remorse,
Yeah,
which is a terrain grell that they usually use for thieves and
yeah,
culprits. And now, yeah, but it's cool because I mean there's 4 people now, no, 5 people aware of all this: Sain, Pevara, Yukiri, Dosanine, and Saren.
hmm
And everybody suspects that Elida's a Black Jaw, but truth is she's not.
yeah.
It's just
She's just really an evil Karen.
well, yeah, yeah. I guess she could be a Karen.
Yeah,
Um,
she's evil, man. The woman is just evil, but she thinks she's doing the right thing. This is one of those things in the book with Elena. I despise Elena as a character, okay, but she really does think what she's doing is the best thing for the world. Sure, she wants to be the empress of the world, but she really does think that she's doing this to protect the light. Okay, and that's the thing. She hates the Black Ajah. She hates the Dark Friends. Absolutely loathes
yeah,
them. That's because her family was killed by Dark Friends. All right, so she loathes them. So her being a Black Ajah, in the books, I always wanted her to be one, but because of her backstory, I just say, okay, it makes sense that she's not. But
exactly. She's just ambitious and has
a power hungry
the
evil
wrong
woman.
way to go about it.
Yeah,
But and then they doubt that, but no one realized that Alviarin is one black.
yeah.
So
That's the.
it's right under her nose, on their nose, and nobody cares. Anyway, on this book, you also have Taim that meets with Elaine,
Mhm.
and he tells her that he has Damon install them for her, and he gives her permission to inspect the Black Tower. Now, at this point, I don't recall if that went well. Do you?
Well, so here's the thing: is Aleda set an embassy, what they call an embassy, a bunch of red sisters to the Black Tower, hoping to ensnare and get rid of the Black Tower. All right.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for those red sisters, what they found was already an army with Logain is the one who captured them. And it was Logain who captured them.
that's right. Because then after that, you have that red who's gonna be paired up with the page. The guy
Mhm.
that sucks in power, but he's able to open every freaking portal inimaginable.
Yeah, at any size, at any time, and what's really I want to talk about it so bad. It's one of my favorite moments in the book between those two when they can talk to each other. I'll
Oh
just
yeah, but hey, whoa. You're
yeah.
too
See,
far.
I
Too
want
far.
I want to spoil it so bad. You have no idea. It's a
Yeah.
great moment, but I gotta move on. Gotta move on. Anyway, so
Yeah. All
uh,
right.
um,
So that happens. While she's meeting with Dame, she's told Elaine is told to get ready for the ceremony with Avienda.
mhm.
So basically, now they're gonna live a birthing experience as if they would have shared a womb, and that's gonna make them. It's kind of a warder bond, and it's gonna make them sisters.
Still
Uh,
creeps me out just talking about it.
yeah, that was a good.
It was
It's
good though.
good development for them to do as an art, like a writer
Hmm.
that show us what the people go through, and I like that. After that, you have in the Black Tower, Tovin considers all the various faction present, and now she might be able to use
Take
them to
advantage of it.
escape.
Yep.
So Tovin Okay, Logan is trying to find men interested in healing Severing because he was healed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's announced that Damer, Jahar, and Ebens are rebels. Rand lays false trails and tells Min to plan. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Rand's going to set up a bunch of false trails for his enemies to follow. But what his plan is in this book is to clean Satan.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite.
I love
Love it.
that
Love
scene.
it.
Yeah. So
Love it.
then after that, Perrin returns from meeting Missima and what you explained earlier. He wants to go to Rand, but he's against the one power. Like Missima's a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Rand
then
visits a few of the academies that he set up, like the one in
yep,
Karahan, and we start to see some steampunk in this book.
that's true. That's when he sees the master and his apprentice
And making a train.
making. Oh, I thought it
Or a
was more
steam
of
car.
a steam car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
steam car.
but it moved.
It moved.
It did move. I like that scene
It
because
moved. Yeah.
that's
So,
that's thanks to Rand's idea to open schools
yeah,
so that people can learn and that knowledge is not lost and it can go forward and it works.
yeah.
Because if you recall in
It only
the
moved a couple of feet, but it moved.
exactly, but if you recall in book I think it's 2 or 3. Oh no, it's book 4 when he goes to Rudian and he goes through the arch and he sees the pass. One of the earliest memory that he sees is somebody using a plane, a type of flying vehicle
Yeah,
that is used by the AL.
yeah,
So, there was better technology before the breaking.
yeah. Well, it said they were advanced societies, So for those of us who come back and watch, think of it like this: the ancients there before the breaking, think of them like Atlantis. The Tales of Atlantis is a highly advanced society. That is this world before the breaking.
Yeah.
So,
Or Planet of the Apes.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at? I'm not reading the link you sent me or
Oh yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
but the
So
one you sent me a month ago. That's a good one. But it's cool
so
that we're using different sources to remember stuff.
oh yeah. So Perrin. So he appoints a new Rand appoints a new Dobrain as his steward, and sets up a few new laws in Carhane,
Yep.
Carhane, however you want to say that, and then leaves. So then it cuts to Perrin and Elias, since they found out that his wife, and the others have been kidnapped. Um, or yeah,
Yeah.
and
Kidnap.
he's beside himself with what to do, and at the same moment, uh, uh, um, uh, another person, Balwer, informs Perrin that the Merindians and men who can channel are currently fighting this Seachan, Sanchan. That's right.
Suntan.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's one of the coolest scene in this book. So Perrin in this he learns that Missima has meeting with Sentients, and eventually Perrin is gonna meet with the Sentient, and I think it's in this book. And he's going to people are they're like he's alone, and the Sentient's like, yeah, you're brave to come here alone. And then they start arguing, and Perrin's like, I'm not alone. And he takes a piece of wood and he just sticks it up in the air, and 2 arrows just poke in it. Boom, boom.
boom, boom.
So they're in the woods. The Sentients are surrounded, and but just that he picks up that thing, and then lifts it. Two arrows jump into it. It's
Yeah,
like wow, the
yeah.
marksmanship.
Well, that's the
That's
that's the
the
Two
longbow.
Rivers folk. They are said
Yeah,
to be the best archers in the world, and they more. Well, I don't want to jump ahead there, but yeah, just like that, boom, boom,
yeah,
2 arrows almost split each other. The one arrow almost splits the other. Uh, that close. Just-
yeah.
Yep, it's that close, and from such a distance, we're talking,
Oh
more
yeah,
than 1,000 yards, more than a
yeah,
thousand yards, and that's something.
easily.
It's easy for a bow, but the Two Rivers bows are strong, stout, sturdy, long bows, and almost a man's. They're said to be almost a head tall, which is a man's height. Man's height, head
Yeah,
tall.
well, they stick it on the ground when
Yeah,
they shoot. They stick it and then they pull it and pew. So it
yeah,
offers great stability.
yeah,
So, all right.
yep.
So Missima agrees to help Perrin look for Fail, even accepting the use of traveling, which he wasn't too keen to do.
Hmm.
There's an attack on Elaine, and Hanlon foils the attack, and she's named captain of her bodyguard. And that's when Rand comes to Camlin, meets Naev, and tells her, "We're gonna clean Satan." So Naev teaches the Windfinder and Talan. Oh no! Oh yeah, Naev was teaching the Windfinders, and then one of the Windfinder asked to become a novice. So that was never done
Yeah.
because there was a deal that the Aes Sedai could not step on boats,
Hmm.
and because of the way they use weaving to propel, and to have somebody from the Windfinder, like the land is getting unified
Yep.
as this progress. You're gonna have, you know, even Egwene is ready to say that novice should be training with the AL, and the AL could come to the White Tower to train, so that everybody learns everybody's ways. And now you have these Windfinders coming over to train, and so it's gonna make for more powerful and
And
versatile
that, yeah,
characters.
and on top of that, you have the kin folk, the kin,
Oh yeah, the
all the
kin where
women
they're gonna
from all,
retire in,
yep,
live for
from the
six
last book.
hundred years.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's they're all starting to come together because the signs are out there. Everybody knows that the dragon has been reborn, which is Rand. They all know it, which is why he has to leave a bunch of false trails because people either love him or they want to kill him. There's no middle ground. That's it.
yeah,
There's no middle ground. So, uh, um, in the Shido camp, Savannah uh, get orders Galena to start healing people, and Galena is one of the Black Sisters, of the Black Ajah, who tried to capture the girls in I think book 3 or book
yeah.
4, but 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 she's captured by the Shido, and so no one else knows this, but she works for the Dark One. She's a Dark Friend, and but now because she was made to swear an oath on her oath rod to Savannah, she has to obey all the orders, and it's
Yeah,
Galena is a
exactly.
terrible, terrible woman. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to spoil anything, but what happens to her is well deserved.
Yep. Oh,
That's
yeah,
what.
absolutely. She's terrible. So now she has to obey other people.
Hmm.
And then you have Alliandre, Fail, and Morgas all set to work as Savannah's maids.
Hmm.
And of course, they're being told by Terava that they should spy on her. So you have three rulers, like Alliandre being the ruler of last book, where parents she swore allegiance to parents. Fail, who's the wife of a noble now, and the daughter of Bashir, and Morgazy, who's the ex queen. They have
Hmm.
three freaking ruler working for a Shadow wise woman. Anyway, so Galena leads them to find the oat rod because she wants to be able to use it to escape. Um, and then hold on, where are we at? Rand travels to Camlin, the Windfinder. Oh yeah, we discover a new character called Olivia
Hmm.
because her and Two the Man decide that they don't wish to be the man anymore, and Min forces Rand to meet with Elaine and Avienda. Oh yeah, and then he tells all three of them that he loves them, and it's not even a triangle now; it's a love square.
Yeah.
Nayev is disgusted by the whole thing because she's from a small town,
Hmm.
and
Olivia is one of my favorite characters. I want to touch on her. So So
Yeah,
in the last book, there was this big battle between Rand and the Shanchan, right? And they
yeah,
captured some of
the man.
their domain, right? Olivia is possibly one of the oldest characters in the book because she is, if I recall, something like over 400 some years. So she's 400 or 500 years old,
Yeah,
somewhere
well,
in there.
yeah, exactly. And she's one of the strong. She's stronger than Naive.
Yeah, she's stronger than Nenaive in the power. She is
Yeah,
also probably the strongest, but she doesn't have the knowledge and abilities. Because if she did, and Nenaive is actually afraid to teach her anything or even let her see her use any powers because she'll Olivia instantly picks up on it, on
yeah,
anything
oh
she
yeah,
sees.
she's good.
She picks up on anything she sees, copies it, and then can do it. And Genevieve is really weary of her because of this. And another thing is Olivia has taken upon herself to be Rand's personal guardian. She sees Rand as her savior.
Yeah,
So
and but Min has
she
a
guards.
viewing about her,
Mm-hmm.
and
That
Min's viewing is that Olivia is going to help Rand die.
Yep. That
So that's
Olivia.
bugging everybody, of
Yeah,
course.
because Min told the girls obviously, and told Nene even, and because it really bothers her. But we'll get to that much later. That prophecy will also come to pass, uh, um, as
Yeah.
Min's prophecies always do, but in their own way. Um, so for me, the takeaway was they so all three girls are now because Rand is sitting there chatting to Min and some others there or no he goes to Camlin to visit Elaine and
But then he gets ambushed. Like basically, he's forced to tell them that he loves her, that he loves the other two, and then they do a weird water bond thing so that they
yeah
all know about each other. And then Elaine basically says, "Well, it's my turn now," because he already slept with the other two. And then that happened, but Bridget is super pissed because of the water bound, she's able to peek of what's going on.
she could
So they
feel
all
what
decide to go get drunk.
she could see. Yes, that's right. She grabs Matt and says,
At
let's
the
go
end,
get
there's
a
like,
drink."
we have something called Usque or whatever, and then she's like, I don't care, just give it to me, and they get drunk.
Yeah,
So
because
that
she could
she's
feel what Elaine's experiencing through the water bond.
yeah. So there was a lot of different bonds,
Yeah,
and even Min, who's not even a caster, she's
mhm.
able to feel Rand's presence
Yep, and the others'
through the
presence too.
power. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So
Yeah, they
it's
all can
pretty
feel it. Yeah,
crazy.
it's a strange water bond where they can all feel each other now, and that's weird, but it's true.
Yeah,
Rand more strongly than the others, but they faintly feel each other, and they said,
exactly.
and it's never really discussed again in the book. It more focuses on their bond with
No,
Rand.
it's he's not a sex writer, so that was just one scene that needed to happen, and it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And after
What
that,
up, David? Welcome.
oh, we have David. Sorry, the chat is not
Yeah,
up for me.
not my
Sorry about
thing. Have a
that.
great
Have a
time.
great
I
time.
tried.
Okay. All right, take care, man.
Yep, that's okay. That's okay. We love the
All right.
book, and you should read it. There you go. We'll leave it at
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So
So
okay, hold on. Where are we at now? Okay, Mary Leal returns from meeting the Borderland army, and Elaine
mhm,
goes to meet them, and she makes a deal with them that they are to stay there and fake threaten Andor so that she can rally people to her
mhm.
in preparation of their attack. But that never happens, and
Yep,
eventually
and she
they're going to be
also meets
used.
with um uh the guy I forget his name from the Black Tower. Also meets with them and sets down some rules. Hey,
Yeah,
let's.
yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
he agrees that he agrees to have her inspect the tower because he's on Camlin's land.
Hmm.
So all right, there's somebody's arguing with cats. Okay, so okay, all of the captive Aes Sedai all red have sworn fealty to Rand. So not only oath rod, but they swore that they were going to. They swore fealty to Rand. Corel announced that Dammer has healed her gain, and then he's allowed to heal 2 other Aes Sedai still by Rand. Alana collapsed and will not wake. Why does Alana collapse and not wake? I don't remember.
Because she forcefully, because she, okay, so in book, I think it was 3, or late in book 3, Rand goes with Matt to the bar there in Camelon that they like to go visit, and there he encounters a few Aes Sedai. One of them is that brown one. I forget her name at the moment, and he knows her, and she says, "Okay, I just want to talk to you." And they brought girls back from, or yeah, it was in book 4. They brought girls back from 2 Rivers, and one of them is Bodwin, which is Matt's little sister. You remember that?
Yeah,
And
yeah. They went into the 2 Rivers and they picked up all the girls. And...
right, and so Alana, a green sister, was with them. Now, when Rand goes into the room to talk to them, Alana says, "Oh, you look ill," and then forcibly turns him into her.
Oh, that's right. She tricked him.
And the other sisters there are absolutely disgusted with what she's done. It's like they treat it like rape. It's an absolutely disgusting act, and all the other sisters says, "Oh, look, we're going to report this. Okay, we're going to tell the tower what you've done, because it's just not acceptable." Because she forced to water somebody to the water bond, and so that's why she's not feeling well, because of what's happening with Rand and the girls.
Exactly. She faints for 3 days because the bond with Rand, with Elaine, and everything. Okay, I remember now.
Yep.
So she faints. Dobrain impressed Cat's1 by telling her that he has sent Darlin and Caroline to Tyr, where Darlin is to be steward. Well, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. All right. The Forsaken, of course, are going to learn of the decision to cleanse Satan and are told by Moradin to kill Rand to stop him. Tuon arrives at Abu Dar, regretful for having a demand beaten for telling of the future she did not like. Matt tries to persuade Aludra to help him make weapon. So Aludra is a previously employed of the Fireworks Guild. I don't remember the name. And she found a way. She has an idea to basically make cannons. And Matt is trying to convince her to do it, and it's gonna work.
Yep.
And
now, Aludra, in case people don't know, she was in the very first or early second book when they first go to that bar I just mentioned, that tavern that I just first mentioned. All right, out when Matt and Rand got lost, separated from the others. Right, they wound up in Camelon. And they were both sleeping in the barn out back of the tavern when Aludra was attacked by other people, and they helped her. And she called Matt this cute little boy, and when he grows up, come find me, blah blah blah, whatever. And so,
of course,
and now she's come back into the books as part of this guild that makes fireworks and other things like fire sound crackers and things like that.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. So then Matt arranged passage to Abu Dar with the circus, which is a circus we just talked about earlier with the girls. Mm-hmm. He's attacked by the golem, saved by Noel, who distracted. Then he meets Tuon, stopping the dice in his head. She offers to buy him from Thailand and takes a general interest in him, later offering to buy his Ashendare, which he'll never do. Matt agrees to help them escape. He wants Mistress Anand and Jolene. Matt agrees to help them escape, along with Teslin, who learns warned Ellen and Naev just to spite Elida. Anyway, Teslin insists he also has to free it. Everybody wants to be saved. And then Matt sees Domon and Hagenin together. Betamin is told by a seeker to befriend again. Oh yeah, the seeker are people that just work for the Sanchin army and they just find people
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time murders them. So everybody's spying on everybody. Like the Sanchin are a very efficient society, although a bit cruel and potentially evil to an extent. They're efficient. Like their people are the best trained and they do their job well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's penalty for not doing it well.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very ordered and structured site. I would liken them to a feudal samurai and feudal lords. The way their society works to some extent, loosely,
Hmm.
I should say. But yeah, I would like it. I would liken them to that. Um, and along at the same time, Elaine gets a surprise gift from Rand at
Yeah,
the
she gets
palace
pregnant.
of all the Soldam and domain that he captured, which is how we learn about Olivia, and Olivia learns about Rand. Is and while all the girls discover Olivia is so powerful and her age, so
I
you
thought you
know,
meant the fact that Elaine gets pregnant. According to Min, that's when
yeah.
she got pregnant.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten that happened. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. She has twins, as I recall, in the Min's prophecy. Yeah. So her and Avienda, yeah, are the
yeah,
only ones talked about having children with him. It's never said whether Min does or not.
yeah. I don't think
So
she.
yeah,
I don't
so
think she
maybe
would want
Min
to do.
can't prophesize her own self. Who knows? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Matt
Um,
meets again with Domon.
yeah,
Domon and Eganin. They yeah, and
the
then of
team.
course, Matt books a ship with Julian Nestel, the Windfinder,
Hmm.
and Matt is forced to tie up Tylin, who has returned, and that's going to cause her to die by the end of the Golem.
Hmm.
2-1 tries to stop leaving, but Matt and Noel tie her up. And then it's revealed that she's the daughter of the Nine Moon. And then Matt just stupidly says, "Oh, she's my wife." And
Three
then
times.
3 times. And he gets slapped, I think, by one girl. She said, "You don't know what you're doing." And then he says it 3 times. And now they're married. But then 2-1 has to say it too. Um, Then we go to Farmading. Rand fights Kinsman and Rocade, killing Rocade. Kinsman escaped, but is killed by Fane
Hmm.
because Fane is still around. But Rand wants him for himself. And Min starts to worry that Rand felt nothing killing someone. That's one of the rare time he usually doesn't like killing people.
Especially
Um,
women. Especially women. He
oh yeah,
absolutely
he
hates it.
has that list playing in his head all the time
Oh yeah.
of
Oh
all
yeah.
the name of all the women that died, starting with Luce Theramon's wife.
Hmm.
Issam slash Luke, Lord Luke, is killing people for one of the Forsaken, and of course he hides his identity. Um, Ketswan takes Hareen, Shalin, Varys Aes Sedai, and the Shaman Warder to Farmading because that's where Rand is. Um, there's tension. There's nobody trusts each other. And then it's revealed that in Farmading, there's that Terangral that mimics a
The
steading.
spreading. Yeah.
Yeah, and that and no one can sense the one power or channel within its bond. So now Rand is pretty much defenseless there.
Hmm.
And then they're tracking Rand, but they can't find him. But they are able to go to the first council. And Varen mentions the danger of upsetting anyone with an army as large as the Dragon Reborn. Alana goes to see Rand. I guess they find him sometime.
Yeah. He's
He
been
said,
hiding out. He and Min have been hiding out in the one place that people wouldn't think to look, which is Farmatting, the place which acts like a steading where he can't use the power.
"Mhm."
So he's been hiding out there.
But
And
that's where he hunts. He hunts for a Forsaken, or
hmm
is it? No, Fane, but he doesn't kill him. And then after that, oh yeah, Varen, who's a Black Edge, I guess, and we
Yeah,
just don't
Varen.
know
That's
that.
that brown sister I was talking about. Varen and
Yeah,
Alana are the
Varen.
ones.
I liked Varen.
Yeah,
Even
she's
as a
cool.
Black Edge, I like her.
Yeah, because she the only reason she joined the Black Aja is to gain information about him. That's
And
it.
also because she
She's
pretty
a spy.
much didn't have much choice at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and
So
she's a
then she decides not to poison Cat Swan, and because she learns that Cat Swan tries to make Rand stay human. Of course, Rand learns that the stone is under siege and that the Sentient are advancing into Ilion. He gets, he's too proud to ask directly, so he's gonna get Varen to ask what Swan to be his advisor. It's childish, but anyway.
mm-hmm.
Naive and Cat Swan are revealed to be carrying channeling wells, a type of Terran Grail that allows them to store a measure of the power and use it, even in Farmading. And then Rand, Naive, and Lan go to kill Torval and Gedwin. That's right, they're hunting in Farmading.
Yep.
They watch them enter their dwelling, and when they're lifted there by Naive using the one power, Min and Elvia fetch Cat Swan. Inside, Naive uses the power. Cat Swan intimidates the rulers into releasing Rand. They don't say that they killed him. They go to kill them, but I think they're already dead.
Yeah, there was a bunch of assassins that sent after Rand, but he outsmarted them and got them instead. Because he's been training
No,
with this.
I think because he was going after Torval and Gedwin, which are Ashaman rebels, and I think that's when Fane got them before him. Not Tame, Fane.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
But they don't mention it in the resume. That's because that I'm pretty sure because he and then they're not killed without pain, of course, because it's Fane. So anyway, after all this, because that's the main plot of the book,
Mm-hmm.
finally at the end, everybody travels to Shadar Lagat, which is my favorite place in the world. Well, in this world. Ren and Naive just sit down and link and use the great Sahangral. So basically, they're using the access key, which activates giant Terangral, the Sahangral, who are was being dug up from archaeological dig site. I can't recall where, and then the other one is somewhere else.
Yep. And this
go ahead.
This key, we'll call it as he said, a key activates both of these giant ones, which amplify both Genevieve and his powers. I mean, just by tenfold.
Because it's two statues, one male, one female, of course.
And no, you go ahead and tell it because you love this part of the chapters as much as I do.
It's really cool because while Rand and Naive are pretty much defenseless, you have all these little, in the same chapter, you have all this different paragraph of what's going on around.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Cat Swan maintains a shield around Rand and Naive. Elza Marie's...
And directs the others.
Yeah, of course, because it's Cat Swan. She knows battle. Elza, Maurice, and Jahar stay near him for protection. Damer, Serene, and Corel fight the Mandrid, one of the Forsaken. Shallan, Varen, and Chimera fight Grendel. So now you have a Black Aja, Varen, fighting a Forsaken. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Eben, Dagon, and Beldane fighting Arangar. Whose Arangar is the resurrected other guy.
And let's not forget Olivia, who by herself, two, not one, but two Forsaken. Fights off two of them.
No, just one.
Oh, that's
Hold
right.
on. She fights Sendane, which is Selene.
Yeah. And by herself, and with no help needed, unlike everybody else,
Yeah.
Forsaken there, and Black Aja, and by herself, she kills Black Aja sisters and fights Sindane at the
Yeah.
same time. That's how powerful Olivia is. She's a power. She's a
Oh
5'4"
yeah.
powerhouse.
And then you have um, hold on, Elza, who's another sister. She kills Deshiva, and Deshiva was Osengar, who used to be Agenar,
Mhm.
who was reborn into that body. So two girls killed. So there's one Forsaken that dies. Ozengar is dead again. So it's
Mhm.
a second death. Of
And
course,
he died by
Mogadin.
balefire, which means he can't be resurrected.
Oh yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Mogadin avoids fighting, of course, and she sees a great black dome form. And when it collapses, she is sucked toward it. The Tain is shown to be gone, but Kumira and Eben are killed. I don't recall these people. And then after that, Demer heals everyone else. That's yeah, great for Demer.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much the book
Yeah.
this time. It was I like this one just because of the ending is just
It's a
so
great.
fantastic.
It's a great battle. It's a great battle, and and it cuts away, to suddenly some of the men in the tower, when they or no, they're at the battlefield. So he had a couple of tower men, black tower men with him. Rand did, and
Yeah,
one tells one of the others that it feels clean. He's still got the madness in him, but now he won't
that's
be
the thing. It won't heal the madness you acquired, but it's gonna prevent you from going madder,
Yeah, yeah.
which
It'll
is
stop you from going even more insane now. So it's
yeah,
clean. The male half of the power is clean, and men who can channel now won't have to suffer the same madness that they've always suffered before. They'll,
exactly. Which is it kind of at this point now you don't need the red jaw
mhm.
because you don't need to hunt men anymore, and also it makes current Ash Shaman even more of a threat though because they're not bound by the three oats and they're not going to go insane, so they're not going to be hunted down. So it's kind of a good and a bad. In
Yeah.
the end, it's going to be positive because there's going to be, of course, great unification.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
And that is book 9, and wow. What an adventure we've been on. Raz and I, just before the
yeah,
show, 9 months. We've been doing this 9 books in 9 months ever since January, and I've had a fun ride so far, and it's going to be great going forward.
it's just to remember everything as we check the resume because, of course, we can't recall line for line, but the moment we read something, we're like, oh yeah, this
Oh yeah,
happened, and then we keep going. So
yeah. We
it's
can
fun.
recall information we didn't think that's not even presented to us in these little, because we both have some summaries in front of us, but we can pretty much just remember. Just once we read the summary, we're like, oh yeah, this happened and this happened. The way
Yeah,
we've been talking about these characters, it's like Eludra. It doesn't say where they meet Eludra when Matt meets her again, uh, but she was. It just as soon as I heard her name Eludra, because I always thought that was kind of a hot name. It's kind of a sexy name to have for a woman, Eludra. I like that name, and
true
so
enough.
when I remembered, I was like, oh wait a minute, she was in book 1, 2, or book 2 as well. I forget book 1, late in book 1, where Rand and Matt are on the run after the events when they get separated from the rest of the party,
It's
and
book one because that's when Matt
yeah,
kind of
Perrin
starts
and
going
Egwin get
mad.
separated, Matt
Yeah,
and Rand get separated, and yep. So yep, and it's those kinds of things because you read the book, and Robert has such a way of writing these characters that makes them memorable. Even
oh yeah.
characters that like Eludra, you've only met her once for a couple of paragraphs in one of the books, and then she's not heard from again until here in book 9, and you're like, whoa, you
Oh
know,
yeah, he brings everybody back.
yeah,
I mean,
all,
there's some characters, there's secondary characters that you never see, but That was one of the critique though. Like one of my friend, when I started reading that, he's like, "Yeah, wait till you get to book 8, you're gonna give up." Because even in book 8 and 9 and 10, he keeps introducing new characters all
Yeah,
the time. So,
yeah,
and it gets it. He must have had tons of notes, like those math and those shows where you have a crazy guy with conspiracy that points from picture to picture, and he
yeah,
has
yeah,
lines
yeah.
drawn
Robert
with
must have
it,
had a
something
wall
like
of
that.
those and notes, stacked up at least as high as your
Yeah,
shelves there.
because then Sanderson picked it up, so he
Mhm.
had to had access to whatever was all what each character is doing, and even then, in the three last book, there's new characters.
Yeah, yeah, because
So
he left notes on characters that were going to be. Robert left notes on characters that he was going to introduce. So Sanders had to, read up all those notes to catch up to finish these books, and whew, he only wrote the last 3 books, but there was so much information he must have
yeah,
had to sift through. He probably spent months and months just learning.
oh
all
yeah,
the,
he had to. I mean, I'm sure he had read the series before.
oh
So,
yeah,
and
oh yeah.
it's because he's read. I never read anything else from Brandon Sanderson. I hear some of his series are really good too. So
Yeah, yeah. I've never read them either. So
yeah,
anyway, this has been our uh, Razyel Kayne and NinjaBill reviews, Wheel in Time and Review Book 9. And I hope you guys enjoyed our time in talking about these books. I know I've had fun. Raz has had
I
a lot of
did.
fun. And so thank you very much for joining us. And if you come by and watch us later, thank you very much for giving us a watch. We always appreciate it. And so, Raz, go ahead and take us out.
Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Also, leave comments. We love reading those. And remember, nothing in life gives you a right to be an asshole.
And we
Take
look
care.
forward to see you next month for book 10.
Which is Cross